we have seen last night unexpected news coming in on Mike Sonko's nomination of Miguna Miguna as the Deputy Governor for Nairobi County. Before we go to the problems that are affecting the country and how the duo is going to work together, of course, there hasn't been response from Miguna Miguna. I'm sure he has seen the news. We have also seen Cliff Ombeta, his lawyer, in possession of the letter of nomination. How does this now, how does the national government translate this, of course, considering the standoff between Sonko and his adverse mention of Interior Principal Secretary Dr. Karanja Kibisho, and also saying that he is being sabotaged by officials working in State House. So how is this going to be received back there at the very top?
Thank you, Ayub. First of all, we must look at the genesis of Miguna and Governor Mike Sonko.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the words, the utterances between them before, that is last year during the election, and even before that, 2016, if there is any person that Miguna swore never to work with at any given time,
it's Mike Sonko.
It's Mike Sonko. And at some point in 2016, Mike Sonko made a tweet and said, even though Miguna keeps insulting me, should I win this seat, I will appoint him in my government. Now, I don't think that whatever Sonko said then is coming to pass, but I think there's politics into play. This is what is happening. Nairobi has been a mess. And Sonko has come out in some of the TV interviews and said, look, guys, my hands are tied. There is a law that should be followed so that procurement can be done, so that roads can be fixed, and so on and so forth. He has put his case. While Nairobians have criticized him for failing to do the job, he has also stood his ground and said, you know what, I'm not able to do this because 1, 2, 3. Now, yesterday, the president was in Solai. If you watch that video, they didn't shake hands. I'm not sure what happened, but I watched it and I saw Sonko standing behind. Ordinarily, he would always shake the president's hand, and he has always said the president is my friend. Some days back, during the tree planting, he went cantankerous and said, you know what, I'm being undermined. And there was a bit of breach of protocol. What I'm trying to say is the issues that are now coming up are political in my view. Sonko is a man under siege, and at this moment, any action, probably his advisors have told him, any action he should be doing should be that of rebellion, so that he can offend the people that he believes are from State House who are undermining him. And I think the nomination of Miguna as his deputy, even though initially Miguna had been on that list, the nomination of Miguna is coming at a time when Miguna was supposed to come back. Miguna is considered an enemy because of his nature of politics and how he has conducted himself. He is doing this to spite.
And when you look at, if we also put it with the issue of Miguna, in my own opinion, Miguna has always been a project attached as an appendage to Sonkoism or Nairobi politics by the deputy president. In fact, now it is becoming so clearer to me that actually the candidacy for Miguna to vie for Nairobi governorship was not by accident. It was a plan that was long calculated, and the end was very clear. If you look at the body language of Miguna, you look at the body language of people surrounding the deputy president, you look at Sonko, who is a deputy president man in Nairobi, you know exactly what is happening. I tend to believe Miguna was actually forced to, or advised to vie to try to see whether he could eat into the votes of Evans Kidero, which by then, even his own community somehow deserted him from the way he was dealing with them, the Luo community. There was a time they were not in good terms with the former governor. And I think Miguna was placed there to try whether he could cut the support base of Kidero, which he did not succeed. And if you look at now moving forward, what has happened today, there was no way Mike Sonko could appoint Miguna without consulting the deputy president. I want you to...
So this is, in your view, this is a political process,
and
this is a plan.
This is now when it makes
calculated.
Now look at, this is when now it makes sense. If you look at deputy president, when he was a minister in the Grand Coalition government, deputy president, every ministry that he was serving, he was excelling. He went to agriculture ministry, he was always rated the best. He went to higher education ministry, he was always rated the best. Now he's a deputy president for the last 5 years. We have not rated him. He has not been rated. In fact, he has failed. But nobody's talking about it.
Why do you
what
think
was happening at that time? William Ruto...
If the deputy failed, then the president also fails, because they both manage the office of the presidency, which is a public institution.
Exactly. You know, we are very clear in this country, especially the cabinet that went, we knew exactly this minister was for who. This ministry was for who. Hii ingine ilikuwa ya Uhuru, hii ilikuwa ya Ruto. And where it makes sense is that at that time that deputy president was being promoted in the Grand Coalition government, it was actually being created to undermine the authority of Raila Odinga. But now Miguna is also being created to do almost the same thing that Ruto was created for, for politics of 2022. Miguna is just a mere project like any other person.